So yeah, my computer isn't dealing very well with anything that's not ambient temp at the moment. I gotta be very careful that I don't wreck it while I'm waiting. I can feel the temperature of the water that's coming out of my cooler, and it's hot. I think like one of my fans might have failed or something. Like but like they haven't failed. They're still running at the same RPM. As far as I can see, they're all running right. Okay. That paste is not working. Holy crap. Like the coolant I've got in there has got to be boiling. I won't be able to get a new cooler till tomorrow. God damn it. I should have put an order in yesterday before I went to bed. I went to check it out today. That's what I was doing just before I started the stream. And all the orders and shit have been delayed by like 7 hours, so the place that I usually go to can't give me what I need. And I wasn't going to pay through the nose for it. Welcome back. So I managed to get a managed to get one of these for about 200 bucks, and the thermal paste to go with it. So at the moment, my radiator is only that. It's one. And I bought this computer late summer last year, and it's been running okay, but then the thermal paste started going on it. It seems like it really, really doesn't like running thermal paste at high temperatures, because like my cooler was running at about 80 degrees, 90 degrees constantly. And so I went through all my thermal paste, like reapplying it, and so I've had to resort to getting a bigger one, and just checking the temperature of the hoses. They're hot to touch. They're actually hot. It's like, what temp are we running? The coolant is 62.7 degrees. So everything's working fine. It's just that like the coolant is immediately going to 62.7 degrees. So like my cooler can't handle it. They can't handle Battlefield 2042. So I've had to do all sorts of shit to get it to actually run properly. That's better. Maxed out at 93, then went back down. That should be right. And I've got the aircon on full, so hopefully that should be dropping down the ambient temperature soon.
Yes, time for action.
No way! Like, you've got the GPU situation, which was happening with New World, and now you've got the CPU situation happening with BF2042. And of course, there's going to be all sorts of people like, oh, my computer runs it fine. What's your problem? This is the problem. That's insane. Like, I'm actually concerned that once I do mount the new cooler up, because I'll be using Noctua thermal paste, like NTH1, only like standard Noctua stuff. I'm concerned that it's not going to deliver enough cooling. Now, one of the biggest problems is that I do have quite a beefy PC. Like my CPU is huge. It generates shitloads of heat. But like I've dropped down all the settings, and this is like kind of the best that I'm getting at the moment. You know, the GPU, CPU usage spikes up to like 60%. That's the highest that anything in ever has ever pushed my CPU. And that was on the map screen.
We've secured Sector Charlie.
It runs fine though, it looks great. Yeah, exactly. During winter I won't need a heater.
Allies attempting to seize Bravo 2.
Gotcha, boy.
Friendly on the ground. We've captured all of Sector Delta.
Oh my god, it's already at 97 degrees. Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. It's not the graphics that's doing it. It's actually the CPU usage. The CPU usage is too high. It's just way too damn high. I've got to go into, like, performance. Power settings, maybe? I gotta go into power settings. Change the power plan. Advanced power settings. Processor power management. Maximum processor state. I've got to change this. Yeah, brain cheese, head cheese would be a good idea at this stage. I got to change this setting to 50%. So it won't use above 50% CPU. That's the only way I can do it. Let me know if it starts interfering with the stream. The stream health should be fine. I'm using my CPU to render the for streaming as well. Like it's using like 2% CPU practically. Yeah. We'll see if this has an effect on temps. More importantly, on gameplay.
An objective has been captured by enemy forces.
So the way that it's rendering now, the way that it works, right? To get into the nitty gritty of it. Whoop. Never mind. I would have had him if I, if I wasn't typing.
Give me a sit rep.
Okay, so that number up in the top right.
Taking control point by point.
Someone's been reading some Pete, what's his name? The guy who did Rifters? Peter Watts. Great author, by the way. If you look up on the top right hand side of the screen, my GPU is rendering at 145 frames per second.
Echo 2 lost.
But see where it's got the CPU part? Where it's rendering between 40 and 50?
Every sector. Hostiles have taken an objective.
It's actually GPU bottlenecked. Sorry, CPU bottlenecked. That's the effective FPS. So if you think of it in terms of like playing a game over a network, where you've got a 60 hertz server, right? So it's one update tick every 60 times a second. This is running between 30 and 60 updates a second for frames CPU wise. And temp is still fucking going up. Can't believe this shit. I had it running pretty good yesterday. The only thing that I can do is wait for temps, the ambient temp to come down. Or maybe drop CPU usage again. I still don't get how it's spiking, even though I've set a limit. Oh, I've set the, look, I've set the minimum process state to 100%, that's why. Okay, so that should immediately fix this. Yeah, I've seen those videos as well, yeah. See, where he got the inspiration for all of that was from a book series called Rifters by Peter Watts. He's a marine biologist who went science fiction author, and he's the guy who came up with that idea. Highly recommend every book he's ever written, by the way. They're all good. Okay, so now it should accurately control it. We shouldn't see temperatures jumping again. They're going to hover about 94, 95. What it does to FPS, I do not know. Yeah, they were used for autonomous vehicles underwater and planes and basically anything that had to operate like away from human contact. And they trained them with a like loyalty system. So if the brain cheese did what people wanted it to do, it would get fed happy thoughts, basically. Yeah. But it's arguable whether or not you can consider something like that actually sentient. So good news there. Okay, so Windows is actually, it's keeping the usage below 50 now. I might be safe to play the game. What temp is our... Fuck, what temp is that getting up to now? 66 degrees? in the coolant loop. Oh yeah, that's hot. I could use this thing as a water heater. Like, I could legit actually probably hook up. That's the best idea ever. Has anyone ever hooked up like a water coolant loop to like an AIO or like water cooling? Have they ever hooked one up to a bathtub and then used it to make a hot water bath? Burning one. No. I know the Nightbringer. I know the yeah, the vodka power one. I saw that. It actually worked pretty good, apparently. Okay, temps are dropping a bit. Okay, we've nailed it. We've got it, boys. Now I can actually play the game. This will be a good little battlefield just here. I'll spawn in once I finish this smoke. Why does that name ring a bell for some weird reason?
You're spending serious resources to stay in this. Total resources left at 50%.
It's worth getting into this just for the pew pew factor. Fuck, I actually managed to get a gun position. Here we go.
Attempting to control Alpha 1.
What temps are we looking at? 99. It went up to fucking 99. Yeah, we've got to cut it down even more. Additional power settings. Holy shit. We'll drop it down to 40.
Alpha 1 is under attack.
Yeah, it's bringing temperatures down a bit. It's still jumping up though. Yeah, optimizing it. Oh my god, that's hot. We'll try 35. Yeah, it could be. I'm just surprised my computer hasn't caught on fire yet. This is insane. It will only ever report the highest core. 98. Now see the CPU usage, it isn't actually adjusting it. There's one more setting I can change. I'll get out of the game. Oh man. This means basically that I'm gonna be unable to play until I get it like a new core and some more paste. There's one more setting which I can change, which is setting Windows to max task scheduling performance. This is a setting that I had to turn on so that I could stream off World of Warcraft. See, it's ignoring what I'm setting it as. That's what the problem is. I remember how I did it. This is one of those like Windows tweaks that nobody knows about, but it's really, really, really good. Even I can't remember exactly where I set it. Yeah, it is. It really is. It's not the task scheduler, it's that's why it's a secret, because like it took me hours and hours and hours to find it. Uh, it's actually, like, it's not laggy, that's the thing. So I'm not trying to find a fix for lag. Oh, look at the temp. It's still at 92, even though I'm not... Well, I am still in Battlefield, that's why. There you go. Yeah, like praying to the computer god. I'm pretty sure it's a system configuration thing. All sorts of lovely information there for you. Yeah, it's like, Windows 10 changes the way the tasks are scheduled. Okay. A gallon per. Yeah. A gaming mode. Sending Windows 10 to gaming mode. Oh my god, there it is. Okay. It's not that one. It's not that either. Yeah. It's not gaming mode. I might have to change my streaming settings. That like that. Nah, there's still one more, so I'll restart. I'll play around with my settings a little bit more. and see if I can get it to change the how much it's using without having to do any more. And so the coolant is already, like, the CPU is so hot. It's not taking the heat off it. That's what the problem is. Like, there's nothing running. There's just no transference of heat from the CPU. Alright, I'll be back soon. Hopefully.